Do you like infinite turns? Do you like modern? If so, I've got the deck for you. This one's going to be wild. Buckle up, folks. All right, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another modern video, and today we're playing Theodore's Combo Food deck list. So at this point, if you play a decent amount of modern, you're probably familiar with using the Underworld Cookbook to repeatedly discard Overchase Daredevil. And Underworld Cookbook makes a food token, an artifact enters play, and so you get to return this to your hand. And the food can be used to do things with Asmor that's kind of cute, right? Like you can just kind of use that as your removal engine. Today's deck list cranks this up to 11, and we are going to attempt to take infinite turns via Time Sieve. So the way we're going to do this, and I've got notes on this here. So you can go infinite with either 2 Underworld Cookbooks and 1 Academy Manufacturer, where if you would make a clue, food, or treasure token, you instead create 1 of each of them. So instead of getting 1 permanent out of an Underworld Cookbook, you get 3. So you can either get 2 Underworld Cookbooks, 1 Academy Manufacturer, or 2 Manufacturers and 1 Cookbook. So we're going to need multiple things in order to do this here, right? Like we're going to need our Overchase Daredevil, we're going to need our cookbooks, we're going to need some number of these cards. There's a lot of things that have to go right for us to go infinite, but we are playing Unmarked Grave to search our library for a non-legendary card and put it into our graveyard. And we're also playing Emery as well as Goblin Engineer to put things in the graveyard and fish them out. We are an Urza Saga deck as well, because let me tell you, if you're just making a bunch of food with Academy Manufacturer in play, your Urza's Construct tokens are going to be just absurdly big. And we also have Pauper Staple Blood Fountain here. So for this deck specifically, this is really increasing our artifact count, right? So like, we play this, it creates a blood token, which lets you discard a card, sacrifice this to draw a card. It essentially lets you loot and change the zones of some of your cards. And in the really late game, you can also just cash this back in to get some of your creatures back. Oh yeah, we also get to just be a Gigantha deck because we're not really using that many colored symbols in this deck list at all. So that's pretty free. Our sideboard is mostly anti-combo stuff of various natures and a few things to answer some fair cards and some opposing Urza Sagas. I'm just going to kind of hop right into the league in this one. I'm probably going to trip over this deck a little bit my first game or two as I kind of figure out like some of these lines that end up leading to the infinite combo. But hopefully by the end of the league, I'll be more or less proficient in what's going on here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for sweet modern content all the time. And if you're a regular, throw me a like before we get started and get down there in the comments if you have any thoughts about the deck list. Those sorts of things support me for free. Let's battle. Okay. Turn 1 Urza Saga. No, I really need to play a turn 2 Urza Saga if I'm going to make constructs. This hand's probably still just fine. I think I keep this. Like, I'm not objectively doing the things that this deck wants to be doing, but I just, like, make some decently sized Urza Saga construct tokens, and I think that's fine. I didn't really pay attention to my deck's mana base. Hopefully that's not something that ends up mattering. I'm just going to grab an island here, play out a Spell Bomb, and then I'll have turn 2 Urza Saga and Emery, and hopefully that ends up being pretty good. Opponent will probably Ancient Stirrings here. Sylvan Scrying. Alright, I am in danger. My opponent just has Tron. Okay, I mean, not exactly playing for interaction here. Okay. So, I have a Mox and a Bobble that I can hit, but my opponent can do some absolutely horrifying things here. I would say that qualifies, yes. Okay. They went for my Emery over my Urza Saga, which I guess I'm happy about. Oh, new Emery. I don't think I get to play that here. I think I just have to activate my Urza Saga. Okay. Yeah, I can, I'm not anywhere close to this Time Sieve working. I go ahead and junk that. And I just, like, really have to hope that my opponent has no more pieces of gas. Yes. Hmm. Spellbomb looking hot here. Gonna just burn my opponent's creatures to their hand that they spent all their mana on. NBD. I haven't gotten paired against Tron in like forever, by the way. Alright, make a new construct. Alright. I have a Pithing Needle. So I Pithing Needle Karn. And then find a way to beat an Ugin somehow. Alright. Karn liberated. Okay. So I will go fetch. I'll pick up a blue source. Guess it has to be Watery Grave. Yes. And Emery will mill some more stuff. I'll send this at an Ugin. So Ugin's minus ability exiles permanents that have colors. So the only thing here that I have that's vulnerable is actually just the Emery. That's the good news here. My opponent pluses and lightning bolts. Is this a +2? Yeah, it goes to 7. I can still technically attack that down. Okay, Ancient Stirrings. Don't really want my opponent to have card selection here. Walking Ballista. Okay. That's actually kind of annoying, right? So my opponent plays... Oh, no. That is bad. So, okay. Relic. Don't care about that too much. It's definitely relevant. Okay. Okay, why are we doing this with this sequencing, though? Okay, sure. So Ugin shoots my Emery. Arn animates a star. Sure. I thought that turn was going to be much worse for me. I'm going to send both of these creatures at Karn, I think. My opponent jump blocks or loses Karn. Sure. What? What? Why didn't Karn lose loyalty? Help? I just attacked with 2 creatures. Why is Karn still at 6 loyalty? Am I losing my mind? Am I missing something? Okay. I don't understand. I must be missing something. But I don't know. Like, I'm not winning this game anyway. I feel pretty confident in saying that. But I please help. Okay, a Blast Zone, sure. Okay, Blast Zone junks Pithing Needle, Karn's active again. I'm good conceding here. I have no idea what happened there. Okay. I am really not good at this matchup. I can't interact with my opponent's lands at all. I can bring in another Pithing Needle. I guess Damping Sphere is okay. I don't even know that it qualifies as good. Like, it's almost certainly in here for the Tron matchup, but I'm just, like, not excited about playing that card. Yeah. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern can probably go out. I don't see myself fishing up Aether Spellbomb, so I think I'm just gonna make that my choice. I could play Metallic Rebuke, but I don't know that I'm super excited about that. Okay, I don't think this hand does anything. Like, I don't have any early constructs to, or any early artifacts to improve the quality of these. I'm just gonna mulligan this hand. Hand doesn't do anything. I can play an Unmarked Grave to get this Overchased Daredevil into my graveyard, but I don't have something to get it back with yet. I have Academy Manufacturer and Time Sieve. I think I have to mulligan this. Okay. I will play tapped Triome on turn 1. I'll put back one of these, and then it's like, do I want to keep the Unmarked Grave? I probably can't with nothing else to do with it. I probably just need to, like, make sure that I hit my land drops. This is super unimpressive. I guess I just keep this in play. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah. I think the way I win this is through activating an Urza's Saga and just bullying my opponent. Do I play this now? I don't think so. It's too important for me to answer the correct thing if my opponent does get something on board. Okay, what are we looking at? Ballista, sure. And again, this is a reason to have kept a bobble in play. It was awkward for me. Alright. I'll just fetch. Grab an island. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent does not have natural Tron. That's the good news. Okay, opponent has Tron next turn. That's the bad news. Alright, and mine confirmed. So end of turn, I'll make my construct. And, okay, I mean, that's respectable. So I'll make a critter. I'll junk my Urza's Saga. I will search up the Underworld Cookbook. I will discard a card, make a food token. Asmor is now playable. Blood Crypt here. Sure. I will play an Asmor, which allows me to get another cookbook, which I will do. Okay, for a mulligan or a double mulligan, I forget which this was. I think a double. This is a pretty good turn 4 board state, right? Like, that Walking Ballista aside, I am potentially just threatening lethal next turn. Yep, that's fine. There's still some worlds where I'm threatening lethal next turn. So, let's see what my opponent can do here. Fuck! Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not mad. You're mad. Okay. Cool. I don't really have anything that I need to play on my opponent's turn. I'll play this out. Now I'm sort of at the mercy of whatever big dumb thing my opponent can play. Well, here it comes. Oh joy. It's Karn on an empty board. It'll be fine, right? Okay, they've got more mana incoming. Sure. What are you gonna do? I can't get Mycosynth Lattice. That card's not legal. The YouTube comments yelled at me last time when I talked about playing around that Sundering Titan. Well, all right. Let's move on. Okay, so is Emery good enough to make this opening hand keepable? I am legitimately not sure. This hand feels bad to me, but I am going to keep it to see if I am underestimating how good Emery is. So, like, Emery plus Unmarked Grave. Okay, we're playing against the Yawgmoth combo deck thing. Finishing my thought here. Emery plus Unmarked Grave is pretty strong together. And whatever I randomly hit with the Emery itself gives me things to do with my mana for the next couple of turns. We'll just kind of see what I can do here. Well, my Emery has walled Young Wolf, so we got that going for us. I think I will shock myself here. This is a 3 mana card, right? Yep. And I'll just play a manufacturer from graveyard. Yeah. What is this? Okay, so that just gets a Dryad Arbor. Okay, that's cute. All right, sure. So black mana is now on the table. Yawgmoth is not on the table yet, though. My opponent's thinking pretty hard about something over there. Okay, it is an Eldritch Evolution. So this allows them to kind of jump ahead on curve and get something else out of their deck. It's sort of a baby birthing pod. A Grist. Okay, sure. All right, they milled over a Yawgmoth, which is good for me. Do I just need to stop that Grist? Probably just need to stop that Grist. I guess I can just, like, do my fetch now. Maybe I didn't even need to fetch. I don't know. My colors matter. All right. So I unmark Grave. Pick up a Pithing Needle. Cast a Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle, do the thing. Get off Grist. Play the Cookbook. discard a card, and now the whole Overchase Daredevil thing works. All right, always yes, always yield to that. Okay, cool. I will just leave back this 1/3 for now. And I even have a welding jar to keep that pithing needle safe. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't have 2 pithing needles in game 1 to also shut off Yawgmoth for their combo win. But I think I just want to stop that card. Then next turn I will play another Academy Manufacturer and things get real weird real fast. Port of Calling get any creature? I think it does, right? Yeah. Just making sure it wasn't green only. Ooh. Ooze is good. Am I just losing my Overchase Daredevil? That's just happening. Happening if I use it. I don't really have to use it. Just gonna start by drawing a card here. A new Emery. Not great. Okay. I use a treasure token to do my Academy Manufacturer thing here. So I could just like not use the Overchase Daredevil. I could just discard my redundant Emery and then do that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't know how aggressively to just go and crack these things. I'm gonna kind of assume that I don't need to be too aggressive here. I think I'll just call that a turn. I don't care if my opponent creates a slightly large creature with Scavenging Ooze. Okay. So they have the Court of Calling. 4X is 2. How bad is this? Are we at like Collector Oof's level of bad? Blood Artist. Okay. Not great for me. Okay, and then you're just gonna eat something. Yeah, that's fine. I need more like Pithing Needle effects. I also feel like I need a Tolarian Academy. Okay. I believe I am now dead. I believe I just died to the Yawgmoth combo. Actually, my opponent doesn't have 2 persist things yet, right? I don't think I'm dead until they have 2 persist things. Okay. So they put a counter on the Young Wolf. That's fine. All right. So they sacrifice Young Wolf. I get drained. Put a counter on my Emery. That's fine. Okay, that's the second Young Wolf. So this is the portion where I die. Because they just sacrifice one, put the counter on the other, and then like repeat that cycle. Okay. Yep. I stopped the grist and then lost to the other thing. I needed a second pithing needle, which I did not have access to. Okay, what do I have here? Second pithing needle's good. Spellbomb's reasonable. Soul Guide Lantern's reasonable. Dark Blast is not crazy. I'm not sure if I want to go that direction or not. I'll probably junk Spellbomb and Springleaf Drum for 2 of these artifacts since I'm bringing in a bunch of other things. And I don't know, maybe cut a random Mox Amber. I'm not sure how I feel about the Dark Blast at the end of the day. It's like fine. Okay. Turn 1 Blood Fountain, turn 2 Emery. Sure. I just feel like I am doing the less unfair thing in my matches here. Like Tron went bigger than me, and this deck has probably a more consistent infinite combo than what I have. All right, so this will be a 1 mana Emery. Okay, I found a cookbook. Not bad. I think I will just go ahead and shock here and play a cookbook. Like I'm not quite going anywhere yet. The Thoughtseize is not good as long as my Emery sticks around. My Emery sticks around. Like, I can just get this card back. I'm not really going anywhere currently, though. Bauble. Spire. Return the Manufacturer. And I will wait on cracking this Bauble. Like, I know my opponent has Thoughtseize, so I don't have to do it immediately. I might just convert this Blood Fountain into a clue, food, and treasure. And then try to use my mana to draw a card on my turn. Okay, 3 mana. Seems good. Yeah. They sacrifice Young Wolf. And I assume destroy my Emery. Yeah, they'll destroy my Emery. I'll bobble here. Okay. Yeah, sure. Alright, a new Young Wolf. Yeah, I think to make my mana work out more cleanly, I'm just going to go ahead and discard the Blood Fountain and turn it into other card types. Time Sieve. I'm so close here. I need the Oval Chase Daredevil. 1 mana short of putting both of these things into play. I have 4 mana currently. I'm gonna crack this clue and be unhappy. Alright, let's go blue, black. I'll play a Time Sieve. I'm not willing to just, like, junk my entire board here. But, actually, if I discard one of these, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take my extra turn. Alright, so now I play second one of these. And now that I have 2, I discard the card that I draw. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I get to slowly go infinite. I discard this, and I'll start drawing with clues. Okay. Opponent figured out how I was going to kill them. So the plan was to use Asmor, clear the board, and then just, like, infinitely attack them. Concession appreciated there. Very much appreciated. Okay, I think for the game on the draw, I do want the Dark Blasts. I think on the play, I just kind of wanted to try and do my thing. Alright, so let's go... I don't know. I don't know how to sideboard here. Maybe I go some unmarked graves out. I'm unsure on, like, unmarked grave versus goblin engineer numbers. All right, but we have officially produced infinite turns. So I don't necessarily need the Oval Chase Daredevil every time. Okay, how is this hand? Is Underworld Cookbook on turn 1? Maybe discard Pithing Needle on... I think this is going to be a keep. It's a little weird. I'm also not sure what to discard. A welding jar. That's not bad. Okay. So I need to fetch here. Maybe a Steam Vents. I have red and blue cards. Yes. Play out a welding jar. I'll play out a cookbook. And I would really like to hit a land. Hitting a land puts me in a very good situation. I'm just going to take 2 here, and I think I'm not going to just immediately discard a card to start making food. Okay, I mean, I hit a land. I hit what I asked for. Alright. Not my ideal land, but I hit one. So I am just going to discard, I think, a Goblin Engineer. To make my food. This lets me play Asmor, which gets me another Underworld Cookbook. I will make this land drop. And now I don't take immediate damage from either one of these creatures on this attack. And next turn, I can play an Emery and Pithing Needle, either Grist or just Yawgmoth directly. Okay, that's a Court of Calling. That gets a Grist. So I am going to lose my Asmor here. Yeah. I am going to take damage this turn then. I'm going to take a Lightning Bolt worth from Hasty Strangleroot Geist. Alright. Alright, I'll take 3. Okay. So I'll start with an Emery. There's a Time Sieve in there. So I will go 1 mana and shut off Grist. And then I can slowly work towards trying to shut off the other portion of their combo. But I'm still going to eat some damage here. I think that's fine. Go to 9. Yeah, that's pretty good. Means that I can't just do absolute Emery shenanigans. Whatever I target just gets eaten immediately. Alright. So I'll fetch. I think I just need to get lands that don't hurt me here. We'll grab Swamp. I'll play the Manufacturer, and at this point, holding this back as a blocker is potentially just more important than forcing my opponent to activate Scavenging Ooze once. Alright, I'll pass the turn here. Can't really use my Blood Fountain to return creatures with this Ooze active. Yeah. Now they can fetch and eat, like, Engineer and Bobble or Engineer Time Sieve or something. Okay, yep, there goes Engineer. And there goes the Time Sieve. Under a lot of pressure. Like, combo finish aside, these two bodies probably beat me in a lot of worlds. Okay, they're cycling their peatland. I take a lightning bolt worth of damage this turn. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put both my creatures in front of this. See which way my opponent orders damage. Yep, okay, that's what I thought was gonna happen. So now I will regenerate this creature, but I take one creature more permanently off the battlefield. I'll take 4 this turn, but, like, keep both of my creatures on board, and then I can Emery chump block the Ooze next turn. Oh, no. Okay. I mean, the good news is there's only one Undying creature in play. The bad news is, like, this Yawgmoth is going to obliterate me. Yeah. Alright. So my opponent is going to shrink and kill my Academy Manufacturer. So I think I need to discard one of my Underworld Cookbooks. Just make 3 permanents here before I just lose out on the ability to do anything. Alright, so that means that this is gone. I can Emery and bring it back because my opponent is tapped out. Did not need another Underworld Cookbook. Okay. So let's return this Academy Manufacturer while I can. Gives me this. I will discard a cookbook. And I will use one of those treasure tokens. Put this Blood Fountain into play. And then maybe this survives the turn? I have to chump block Scavenging Ooze. And then I take, well, Yawgmoth. Yeah, Yawgmoth would attack too. But I take 2, so I'll die if my opponent plays like a Strangleroot Geist. Yeah, okay. I have 1 treasure token because I played Blood Fountain, so now I can't eat a food. So maybe that was a mistake on my end. GG's. That draw was not going to get me there. Okay, we have been paired against a Lurrus deck. Do I keep this hand? I have turn 1 Cookbook, turn 2 Unmarked Grave, turn 3 Academy Manufacturer. Like, is that a reasonable Magic hand? I don't know. This deck is so strange in terms of, like, the lines that it has. I'm gonna shock for a Steam Vents on turn 1 here. There we go. I'll play my Cookbook. Okay, so we are playing against a burn deck. Alright, Blood Fountain on top. Sure. I don't think I discard for a food here. I think I'll just take my draw. I go land, and I'm just going to do this at sorcery speed. I will Unmarked Grave for Oval Chase Daredevil. I will play a Welding Jar and return it. I will then Oval Chase Daredevil and return it again. So now I have a recursive source of food going on turn 2, and the ability, Suspend Rift Bolt, sure. Oh, this is a lot of damage. And the ability to potentially defend against some of the stuff my opponent is doing. The issue is here, like, absolutely is just time. So, like, I can derp around and make this food, but I'm taking for a turn. I'll fetch. Oh, this has to shock. I absolutely am not willing to shock here. Yeah, absolutely not. Okay. In that case, I think I'll just have a little snack. My opponent has so much damage showing that I think I'm just going to die before I can do something like get Academy Manufacturer online and really just crank out the damage. Please don't have another Goblin Guide. My poor little heart can't take it. Not technically a Goblin Guide, but probably hits as hard as a Goblin Guide. Yeah. Yup. I get hit for 6 here. An Emery on top of my deck. Yeah, I'm at 1. Eating a food puts me to 3. Okay, yep. So, or eating that puts me to 4. What if I Emery and eat a food? Then I can eat 1 Goblin Guide attack, gain 4. Alright, there's Emery. This hops in front of one of these creatures. I take 4, which is still just exactly lethal. Okay, what if what if my opponent has no spells? What if I jump in front of Goblin Guide, gain 3, go to 4, and they have no spells? I guess that's the line where I stay alive. I'm dead to this. Yep. Okay. GG. I'm just too slow. I don't think I have sideboard cards for this matchup. This matchup's so bad that I have to like play something like Metallic Rebuke. Might be. Look at EE. EE blows up so much of my stuff though. Alright. I'm unhappy. Welding Jar out. Soul Guide Lantern out. 1 Unmarked Grave out. Let's try that. I could K Command. K Command's not crazy. Pull out another Unmarked Grave. Again, unsure on like cutting Unmarked Grave versus Goblin Engineers. Maybe I do it the other way in this matchup because the Ovalchase Daredevil is pretty important, but like I had Overchase Daredevil this time and it like absolutely just did not matter. Sure. Here's to hoping Urza's Saga can do some broken things. This is awkward. I think I have to shock here. Grab a Watery Grave for my sequencing to work the way that I want it to. This lets me play Urza's Saga on turn 2 while holding up Metallic Rebuke. Okay. The Rift Bolt suspended there. That's fine. Alright. Urza's Saga. I'm going to go ahead and just eat the Rift Bolt to the face and then try to counter a higher impact card than just a Rift Bolt. It's awkward if my opponent just like passes the turn. Okay. Suspend Rift Bolt. And to skewer the critics. I will counter that. Here's my blue. And I'll improvise 2. I got a Lightning Bolt worth of value out of it. About the best I can ask for. Okay, so I need to play a untapped land here. I have a swamp in the deck, right? Yeah, I have Island Swamp in the deck. I think that's better than just grabbing another Urza Saga immediately here. So let's grab that swamp. And I'll pass the turn. I have Unmarked Grave for a Ovalchase Daredevil. And I can get stupid Cookbook with my Urza Saga. And so they just like immediately fetched. You're gonna blow up my Urza Saga Construct token? No. Okay. I'm just gonna eat a bunch of Hellfire at the end of my turn. I mean, I think if I'm going to realistically try to win the game, I probably have to just do this. Okay, they're now out of Lightning Bolt range. I'll pick up a Cookbook. I think this is fine to be a tapped Triome. Or do I just play another Urza Saga and just say, like, the hell with trying to gain a life? I'm just going to try to literally kill you next turn. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I just don't have time for tapped lands here. In that case, let's discard a Blood Crypt and crash in for 6. Puts my opponent to 12. This is theoretical lethal next turn, but my opponent has 4 cards in hand. I could just be dead. There's a Skullcrack. I am at 7. I am at 4. One of us is dead in this turn cycle. Is it me or you? It's me. I think we're too slow for Modern. Hey, you. Yeah, you. You subscribed to my YouTube channel yet? You are? Great. That's good. Some of you out there, you're not. You're watching my content, the algorithm. The algorithm is just feeding me to you, and that's fine too. But if you want to find me again, consider subscribing. Okay, back to the show. Okay, we're playing against a Kahira deck. I have Emery on turn 2. This is turn 1 fetch. Watery Grave, play Blood Fountain, Bauble. Immediately cycle Bauble, play Emery for 1 mana on turn 2. This is fine. We might be playing against the Elementals deck. My opponent thought for a long time about their opening hand. Unsure what exactly that means, or if they were just double queuing or something. We'll find out. Alright. Fetch, Watery Grave. Yes. Blood Fountain. Bauble. I guess I can wait until my opponent's turn to crack it. I also don't have to crack it immediately because I have an Urza's Saga coming. Like, we could just be playing against a blue-white control deck rather than an Elementals deck. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this Bauble chill in play for a little while. I'll play an Urza Saga and a 1-mana Emery. Counterspell is fine. Like, I have multiple uncounterable Urza Saga tokens coming. And, like, then I do have Emery as a more long-term plan. And I'll be okay shocking to get my red mana as well. Okay. So, I guess I don't need to fetch here. Okay. Okay, my opponent's missing a land drop here. That probably bodes well for me. Alright, I'm going to fetch in response to that. Grab a Steam Vents. Yes. I'll now let that resolve. You shocking? You are shocking. I will make my construct. I'm, again, just going to leave this Bauble chilling here. I will make a new construct. And we'll see if I just get, like, absolutely clowned by a dress down or something like that. What do I want here? Welding Jar is not going to be great against the removal my opponent's playing. I can't Pithing Needle a fetch land currently. I think I'll just grab a Cookbook. Let's attempt an attack in for 6 and see how this goes wrong. Because I assume it goes wrong in some capacity. Shark Typhoon is absolutely fine. That taps my opponent out as well. Yeah, Chump Block is fine here. Now it's the question of, like, do I want to play an Emery and do a Supreme Verdict? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to take this opportunity to play this tapped Triome and call it a turn. Like, this is theoretically lethal next turn. It's an ending on the Cookbook. Do I just let that happen? Turns these into 5/5s. I need these to be 7/7s in order to present lethal. Resolving Blood Fountain is already lethal. I think I just let that go. I'm worried about, like, a dress down. Like, opponent chose not to remove one of these creatures when they're facing down near lethal damage. Asmor. Awkward timing there. Well, first things first. Let's see if my opponent dies immediately. Okay. This is now theoretical lethal. I'm going to send in with these, and we'll see what happens. A Solitude. Sure. This removes one of these. My opponent takes 6 this turn. I think I'm good with that. I think I'll take this opportunity to fetch. Grab an untapped island here. I'm going to try... yeah, I'm going to try to get my opponent to counter this. I'm not sure if they will. I also could have just, like, looted this card away instead of trying to use this as a bait spell and just played, like, both Emery and Asmor this turn. Ooh. Successful bait. Then I play Emery as the card that actually matters. Ooh, I hit the Oval Chase Daredevil. Very nice. Let's see if I eat something like a Supreme Verdict this turn, though. Give my opponent the 2-for-1. I've still got Gigantha hanging out. I haven't put Gigantha in my hand this entire league yet. Okay. I mean, that's potential Supreme Verdict mana. The Cryptic can just, like, counter whatever I do and tap my team. Turn's awkward. Okay. I think I'm just going to go to combat. Gain control of that construct, huh? Awkward for me, I guess. Okay. I mean, on that side of the battlefield, it's a 1/1. No attack. I think I want to go ahead and loot here. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be good. I'll now play an Asmor. Use this ability. Yes. Asmor gets me a cookbook. Play the cookbook. Cookbook returns the Daredevil. Tap this. Do the thing. Now, haven't used Emery yet. But let's bobble you. You're drawing a land. That's great. Tap Emery. Target the bobble. Play this. Did this slightly suboptimally. That's okay. Loot away this. Draw a card. Look at that card again. Just put more cards into my hand for next turn. All right. Pretty happy with what I've got going here. Urza Saga's great. Goblin Engineer is very good as well. And pretty easily just killed my opponent's construct with Asmor next turn. And get multiple Underworld Cookbooks going too. Good stuff. All right. Always doing that. Play this. That returns Daredevil. Yes. Actually, do I just grab an Academy Manufacturer here? Let's do that. I gotta get cute with Unmarked Grave too. Oh, shoot. Playing a little loose. Actually, no. Right? Like, because I was waiting to do that. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't have any blood tokens to loot this with. So you can just chill in my hand for the moment. So this card is free. Tap this. Take a red. Goblin Engineer. Put a Time Sieve into the graveyard. Activate Asmor. Actually, do I even need to activate Asmor? I think I can just, like, let my opponent chump block. Yeah. I will just attack for 3 and let my opponent chump block. That's fine. Yep. I could draw a card immediately. I don't think I need to. Sure. Temple Garden. Fine. Oh, Unmarked Grave is not an instant. I should have cast that. I don't really have anything that I'm looking for. What is this? Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. Put 2 into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, that's really good. That's like a weird dig through time sort of thing. Why have I never seen this card before? This is a lot of mana. Oh, it's just another one. Sure. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna be 1 point short of lethal, assuming nothing happens and I attack with everything. I'm not sure that I want to attack with everything, but just throwing it out there. I guess I'm pretty okay in the event of, like, a supreme verdict because I just have this Urza's Saga that I can ride to victory. Okay, something else is happening. Prismatic ending on that. Sure. I'm good with where we stand. Alright, another Mox Amber. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so I think I just win via 1 extra turn here. Where's my cookbook? Okay, there's my cookbook. Discard. Get multiple permanents. And now I'll just target this Time Sieve. Go blue-black. Play it. 2 mana. Make an Urza Saga token. Time Sieve. Sacrifice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get an extra turn. And then I can just attack twice and not think about this any further. Okay. And I'll go to my second turn. I could optimize my lines more strongly here, but I don't have to. Like, my opponent's just tapped out. Like, I know what's up. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. What are we doing against this control deck here? Probably not much. I'm probably just gonna, like, play some Metallic Rebukes so I can fight back versus some counterspells in key spots. I think I'm gonna just hard nope, huh? Just okay. Well, I was worried about going 0-3 drop. I guess we have solved that problem. Okay, we've gotten paired against a Luris deck. I think I'm keeping this hand. Got 2 lands. I can play an Urza Saga on 2. This hand gets pretty darn good. if I do hit the third land drop. It's a little awkward if I don't. Luris can mean a couple of different things. Okay, so it's probably hammer time. Okay, how do I feel about Goblin Engineer? I think I'm going to turn one of them into food. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm going to discard one Goblin Engineer here. I've discarded a card. I can play this Urza Saga out first, which allows me to play Asmor, which I will do. Yes, I'll pick up an Underworld Cookbook. Do I want to give my opponent a card so that I can play this Underworld Cookbook this turn? Yes, I do. I think that's just worth it. I am going to immediately discard another Goblin Engineer. And now I have the ability to junk a creature at instant speed if I need to. Alright, opponent has their own Urza Saga. My constructs are considerably bigger than theirs, but they've got the upside of having like a combo finish. Okay. So I'll go yeah, and then I'll just attack for 3 and call it a turn. Yeah. Opponent goes to 17. And then I get to decide, like, how many of these cards in my hand just become artifacts or my Urza Saga token count. I don't have to, like, fully make the decision immediately. A little scary. Alright, you have a hammer. Okay. So I make my construct. I think I'm 100% turning one Asmor into food. But I think I'm going to hold off on my decision on the Emery. New cookbook. Sure. So I activate my Urza Saga. Now a 7/7. What am I getting? I don't have mana open for Spell Bomb this turn. I'm just gonna get a Mox. This is Mox Amber, not Mox Opal. Okay. Not what I really wanted then. Would have been a Springleaf Drum. And that gives me the blue I wanted for Emery. Shit. Okay. Alright. Well. Right. Fuck. Alright. Take your card. I will bash in for 12 damage. Oh, opponent not jumping here. I get pretty silly. Pithing Needle is awkward here, if they Pithing Needle Asmor. I think I just let it happen, though. Shadow Spear, sure. Yes, that's fine. Okay. That is less fine. So now I will attempt to kill that, and if my opponent has another thing, yeah. So I let this resolve, I let them target the Esper Sentinel again, and then I discard a card, make a new food, and repeat the process. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Like, I knowingly played around the second Colossus Hammer and to set that up for multiple turns. The third one is bullshit. This tramples too. I'm very disappointed. Absolutely very disappointed. Alright, Needle's fine. K-Command's fine. I'll probably play Dark Blasts. Probably play EE. Damage to both of us. Probably more to my opponent, and I'll probably play Wear Tear. This is a lot of cards I potentially am sideboarding in. How do I feel about Spell Bomb? I don't want Lantern. I will probably cut Springleaf Drum. I cut one Mox Amber. Maybe if I'm boarding this many cards, I just cut both. Settle in for a slightly longer game. Probably junk a Blood Fountain and then 2 of these effects. Maybe one of each, not knowing what to do here. I also do have the Ensnaring Bridge, but I think Ensnaring Bridge is kind of awkward here because I am intending on winning via combat damage as well. Okay. I'm not super happy with this. I think it's good enough to keep, but not thrilled. I'll pay my life for this, and I will just start increasing my permanent count. I think my opponent is just the better Urza Saga deck here. Okay. So, think I will play Urza's Saga. I will activate this. I just loot away the Dark Blast. I just loot away the Dark Blast. I can get it back later. Get it back immediately in sort of a funny fashion. I don't think I'm going to do that. Welding Jar, sure. Play it. Play Asmor, yes. Grab a cookbook. I get some okay sized construct tokens. Lol. Okay. The Dark Blast gets immediately junked. Kappa. Alright. Big Livy. So I shock for this. I think my plan is just activate Urza Saga and hope that it takes me to victory. This Asmor is not great on current board. My opponent just has a pro black and red thing. That is what it is. Okay. There's some world where I end up having to wear away something here. Ah, nice. Opponent did not attack. I'll make my token. And if I'm going to win this game, I probably have to make another token, but that means dropping Wear Tear, which I'm not stoked about. What am I getting? I don't hate Pithing Needle on Marsh Flats. I also don't hate just getting Bobble. A Pithing Needle Marsh Flats. See if this works. I'll pay 2 life for this. Attempt to bash in for 5. Opponent just eats it. And now I can play Emery around the Esper Sentinel tax. Just absolute whiff. Ornithopter's fine. Mana, is Loris going to hand? Loris is going to hand. That's fine. Oh, my opponent just conceded there. I don't think this game is over, but sure. Like, you're on the back foot for sure, but I don't think we're done. Okay, now that I know that the Sanctifier in Vec, or whatever it's called, is in the deck, I don't think I want these Dark Blasts anymore. Carrying Bridge is so awkward. It's like, it protects me from some hammer attack situations, but it's slow, and if my opponent has the Sigarda's Aid, it doesn't actually stop that stuff from coming in. I might need it on the draw. I'm taking out these Dark Blasts and becoming a little bit worse versus my opponent's interaction. I don't know. Maybe I have to keep the Dark Blasts anyway, because the Esper Sentinels are really annoying for like when I want to like spam and do my stuff. Let's do some adjustments here, and let's get slightly better at putting the Ensnaring Bridge into play to buy myself some time. The bridge is awkward though, because I think most of the time that I win, I just win based on Urza Saga construct tokens before my opponent gets stable. Okay, how is this hand? The turn 1 Blood Fountain, turn 2 either Goblin Engineer or Wear. Fine, I'm going to keep this. Actually, there's a world where this is just a tapped Triome on turn 1 so that I can also tear if I need to. Opponent's on 5 cards currently. Okay. Tapped land. I just drew the Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah. Let's grab the Triome and then just like open up white mana for the future. Okay. What do you got? Stoneforge or Colossus Hammer. Okay, I'm better at answering that than I am Cauldra. Turn's hard. Our opponent like randomly has a Cauldra in hand. It's so awkward for me. I'm just gonna shock and pass. This is so awkward for me if my opponent just passes with Stoneforge up. So incredibly awkward if that happens. Sure. Okay, so my opponent kind of got a time walk here. I didn't really get to do anything with my mana. They're taking the attack in. I can't do anything here. I will eat that damage. Cool. I die if I tap out. Oh. I am happy enough to just wear that to use my mana. Good with that scenario. Okay, I hit a land drop. That's great. Hold up wear again? I think so. Yes, I'll pay the life. I will play Pithing Needle and name Inkmoth Nexus. And then just like not deal with that for the rest of the game. It's gonna eat 3 damage here for holding up wear so that I don't randomly die. I think I just have to though. I go to 11. Okay. Do I just, like, stop playing around stuff and just try to empty my hand? I might have to just do that. Not super pleased about it. Alright. I need to get something going that can beat these Sanctifier Invacs. I guess my current answer is Ensnaring Bridge. What do I want in Graveyard? Manufacturer is an X3. I think I want that. But I can just die to the Guard's Aid into Hammer here. Not it. What did that hit? That hit my Engineer. Yeah. I am in trouble. I'm at 6. I guess I just need to get as many cards out of my hand as I can and then play Ensnaring Bridge. Die to Stoneforge Mystic a lot of times doing that. Let's loot. Loot away this Blood Fountain, I guess. Actually, maybe loot away Unmarked Grave. Okay. Tapwater Grave. Blood Fountain. I will probably end of turn loot. I need to not use Bauble. I think I'll just loot right now. There's some 0 cost stuff that I can draw. Not one of them. Alright, so I need to hit a land. I hit a land, I go land, bridge, cookbook, and I'm good. Or alternatively, a 0 drop is fine. But this is embarrassing. Like, my deck just lost to a pair of 2/2s. Yep. Okay. That's not great for me. Play cookbook. Okay, this is fine. It gives my opponent cards, but I'm alive. Alright, so they get a card. No, I can't pay to prevent that. Play a cookbook. Guard a cookbook, make a food. You are locked out of attacking with any of this stuff. Ornithopter can still do it. Luris to hand, Luris to hand. I don't think I risk drawing 2 lands in a row by drawing a card with Bauble here. Do I play this land drop? Yes. I think I'll call that good. I think, safely cash in Bauble now and use an Underworld Cookbook to bring it back. Or I can use an Underworld Cookbook to discard the card if I don't want it, rather. There's Luris. Ornithopter's scary. Ornithopter can attack, and then they can play a Colossus Hammer if they get a Sigarda's Aid. So let's Bauble. You're drawing a land. I think I will crack this clue. I think that's fine to do. Just turns fetch lands back on. A Dark Blast and a Spellbomb. Happy enough with both of those. We'll Dark Blast Esper Sentinel. I have the mana to pay. Yes. I will play this card. Now my opponent can replay the Esper Sentinel. But now I'm not dead to just Ornithopter shenanigans. The thing that's going to beat me is a Prismatic Ending on this Ensnaring Bridge. I don't think there's a lot I can do to play around that. Yeah. You got a hammer. That draws you a card. Oh, they found Prismatic Ending. Unfortunate. So now I can bounce something, take 2, 4, 6 damage still, or 7 damage still. Don't have the mana for Blood Fountain. Don't have anything that saves me from this position, I don't think. I can draw a card, gain some life, go to 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't do it either. Alright. De La Vie. That is the end of this league. We went 1-4, and our only win was to someone who conceded after match 1. Overall thoughts on the deck list? Slow. Like, very neat once it gets going. But this deck is just so incredibly mana intensive. You can be promoted over here. Like, I have Urza Sagas to do with my mana. I have Amory Recursion to do with my mana. Goblin Engineer stuff, cracking clues, cracking foods, activating blood fountains. Like, this is a deck that takes so long to get going. And I'm not going to claim that I played this perfectly or sideboarded perfectly or anything like that. I'm absolutely sure that I made mistakes. I identified some of them, and there's some of them that I probably did not identify. But it just felt like I was the underdog in every match except versus that control deck where I just... Like, the fact that my deck was really slow didn't matter. I don't believe I ever put a Gigantha into my hand the entire league, because I just had, like, so much other stuff to be doing with my mana. Like, the Urza Saga's disappearing so that I can't, like, use that mana is relevant as well. I don't know where to take this deck list because it feels a little clunky as is. Like, the idea is super neat, and I'm glad that we got to do the thing in one of the early rounds, so people probably saw that. But ultimately, I don't have a lot of confidence in this deck list's consistency. It felt like I spent a lot of mana on things that did not kill my opponent. I think that's the best way to sum up my thoughts on this deck. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, click the like button on your way out. That's one of the easiest ways to support my content for free. If you have any thoughts on the deck list, throw them in the comments. And if you want to try this one out or get one of your own decks on the channel, that information is available in the video description. Have a great rest of the day. See ya!